We tell stories of human way, not with artificial voices or AI slop. In the end, what's HFI without humanity? Subscribe to keep it this way. My name is Amir Sohal. Let's begin. The sky was unusually calm that evening, a deep orange glow fading into the dark blue of night. Across Earth, people went about their usual routines, completely unaware that something unimaginable was approaching. Satellites in orbit had detected strange anomalies, but governments dismissed them as glitches. No one could have imagined what was about to happen. High above the clouds, in a quiet control room, Commander Lena Hayes stared at the radar screens with growing alarm. Numbers flickered, signals shifted, and then, as if from nowhere, a massive blip appeared on every screen. She rubbed her eyes, thinking it was a mistake, but the blip kept growing, moving closer, faster than anything humanity had ever seen. "Commander Hayes, you need to see this," said Lieutenant Rao, pointing at the main display. The radar showed not one, but millions of objects moving in perfect formation toward Earth. Lena's heart pounded. That can't be real," she whispered. The blip became a wave, covering the entire horizon of space as seen from satellites. A fleet of unimaginable scale was moving directly toward Earth. Ships of all sizes, shapes, and designs, glimmering with energy, formed a colossal armada that seemed to stretch across the solar system. News alerts began flashing worldwide. Military bases scrambled jets, radar stations lit up like Christmas trees, and governments sent urgent messages to the public. Panic spread like wildfire. Social media exploded with videos of strange lights in the sky. Ordinary citizens froze, staring upward, their hearts heavy with fear. At the United Nations Emergency Council, the world's top leaders gathered. The room was tense, every voice trembling as reports came in. "They are coming in full force," said Admiral Kwan, his voice steady but grim. "This is not a scouting mission. This is an attack. Our entire planet is at risk." Lena Hayes was called to the council via video link. She explained what the radar and satellites had recorded. The leaders could barely believe their eyes. How can an entire fleet move this fast? "We don't have the weapons to stop them," one delegate exclaimed. Lena swallowed hard. "We have some defenses, but this fleet, it's beyond anything we've faced. They are organized, precise, and powerful. They're coming to destroy us." The world held its breath. Meanwhile, ordinary people began sending desperate messages, videos, and calls to each other. Families hugged. Friends held hands. Strangers comforted strangers. The fear was universal. The night sky that had once been a symbol of peace now looked like a warning of annihilation. On the military side, preparations moved at lightning speed. Fighter jets were armed, nuclear silos activated, and strategic bases went on full alert. Scientists and engineers worked frantically, trying to find any advantage. The clock was ticking, and the fleet was already halfway through the solar system. At Space Command Center, Lena's team monitored the approaching fleet. "Commander, they are within the orbit of Mars," said Lieutenant Rao. "We estimate full arrival in 72 hours. 72 hours. It was not enough time. Panic surged in the control room, but Lena forced herself to remain calm. Every second counted. Meanwhile, civilians in major cities reported strange electromagnetic pulses, disrupting communication and power. Phones died, lights flickered, and sudden silence fell in some regions. People whispered of omens and disasters, unaware that this was the prelude to something far greater. At night, the fleet became visible to the naked eye. Across the world, millions gazed upward. People in New York, London, Tokyo, and Nairobi all saw the same spectacle. The sky filled with an endless stream of alien ships, glimmering like stars, yet moving with terrifying speed. Children cried. Parents prayed. Leaders convened emergency broadcasts to calm the public. But their own fear was palpable. In a hidden underground facility, Lena gathered her team. "We have one chance to prepare. They are expecting us to panic, to be unorganized. We cannot afford mistakes. Every life counts." One young officer, barely out of training, asked, "Commander, do we even know what they want?" Lena shook her head. "They want total domination. They don't negotiate. They destroy. Our job is to survive and protect humanity. At the same time, alien scouts reached Earth's orbit. Massive ships appeared over major cities, invisible at first, but soon their energy pulses lit the sky. Satellites went dark, communications failed, and chaos erupted. In one city, a mother clutched her child as the ground trembled from unseen forces. "Stay calm, honey," she whispered, her own voice trembling. But calm was impossible. Lena and her team moved to the command center's main bridge. Every screen showed approaching ships, the scale of the threat nearly incomprehensible. She activated a secure line to President. "Madam President, this is Lena Hayes. The fleet is massive, more than any technology on Earth can handle. We have to make every strategy count. This is a fight for survival." The president, pale and resolute, nodded. "Do whatever it takes, Commander. Humanity is counting on you." As the hours passed, the alien fleet entered the inner solar system. Observatories around the world recorded strange energy patterns. Comets and asteroids shifted slightly in orbit, as if the aliens' presence was bending space itself. Lena's team ran simulations, but every prediction ended in doom. Millions of lives at stake. Cities obliterated. Civilizations ended. Yet she refused to give up. Finally, she addressed her team. "We don't have the numbers. We don't have the firepower. But we have our minds, our ingenuity, and our courage. If we stand together, we might just find a way to survive." Outside, the alien fleet advanced. The sun reflected off their metallic hulls, creating an almost blinding spectacle. The world watched in awe and terror as the aliens prepared to strike. In this moment, humanity felt small, fragile, and uncertain. The desperate call had been made. The time for fear was gone. The time to fight had begun. And yet, somewhere in the vast darkness of space, the alien commanders watched. They had thrown their entire fleet at Earth. They expected obedience, surrender, or destruction. But what they did not expect was humanity's resolve, cleverness, and courage. Lena Hayes clenched her fists. "We are not done yet," she whispered. And in every control room, every city, every hidden bunker, the people of Earth braced for the impossible. The countdown to the first encounter had begun. The dawn was eerily silent. Across Earth, cities waited in tense anticipation, knowing the alien fleet was close, yet not fully visible. In the sky, strange ripples shimmered like heat waves, hinting at the immense power of the ships beyond. Satellites and radar signals showed patterns impossible for human minds to comprehend. Commander Lena Hayes stood on the observation deck of Earth's orbital defense station, staring at the viewports. Millions of alien ships glimmered like stars, yet moved with the precision of a single living organism. They were immense, some larger than small countries, and their energy signatures pulsed rhythmically, almost like a heartbeat. "Commander," Lieutenant Rao said, his voice tense, "our weapons may not even scratch them. The energy shields they project, they are absorbing everything we throw at them." Lena nodded. She had already run countless simulations. "We have to be smarter, Rao. We cannot fight them with strength alone. We fight with strategy, with speed, and with everything they do not expect." In orbit, human defense fleets prepared for combat. Sleek fighters, drones, and massive warships moved into formation. Communications buzzed with orders. Yet tension was palpable. No one had faced an enemy like this. And deep down, everyone feared the worst. On the bridge of the flagship Resolute, Admiral Kwan looked at Lena via video link. "Commander Hayes, this is it." They were within firing range. Earth braces for the first strike. The silence of space was shattered. The alien fleet moved as one, releasing energy beams that tore through satellites like paper. Communication networks flickered and went dark in regions across the planet. Panic surged on the surface as people watched the sky explode with light. "All units, defensive formation Delta. Target the lead ships." Lena commanded. Human fighters streaked toward the enemy. They fired lasers, missiles, and plasma cannons. For the first few minutes, the humans felt hope. Some alien ships exploded, breaking apart in fiery debris. But then, the unexpected happened. The alien ships began adapting. Shields regenerated faster than human weapons could penetrate. Fighters vanished in flashes of light before reaching the enemy. The larger ships move with strange maneuvers, twisting at impossible angles as if anticipating every human attack. Commander, they're reading our patterns. Rao shouted. It's like they know what we're going to do before we do it. Lena's mind raced. Chain formation. Launch decoy drones. Anything to confuse them. Focus on survival, not destruction. On Earth, cities shook as alien energy pulses hit the surface. Major power grids failed. Buildings collapsed under electromagnetic forces that bent steel and concrete. People ran blindly through streets, some tripping over debris, others screaming in terror. Yet in the chaos, small acts of courage shone. Pilots flew beyond their limits to protect civilian areas. Soldiers stood their ground despite, knowing the odds were against them. Scientists worked frantically to recalibrate orbital weapons, hoping to find a weakness in the alien shields. Suddenly, an unusual phenomenon occurred. A group of alien ships disappeared, not destroyed, but vanished. One moment they were there, the next, gone. Radar couldn't detect them. Sensors were useless. Commander, look at this. Rao pointed at the display. They're disappearing, not from our weapons. Something else. Lena felt a shiver run down her spine. This isn't random. The aliens are not invincible. There's a pattern here. Observe closely. Watch how they react. The alien fleet hesitated for the first time. Their ships paused in mid-flight, scanning, almost as if confused. Lena seized the opportunity. All units, focus fire on their left flank. Use rapid-fire pulses and evasive maneuvers. Don't give them a moment to adapt. Explosions rippled across the enemy formation. Smaller alien ships collided, creating chaotic chain reactions. Human fighters maneuvered like dancers, weaving in and out of deadly beams. For a brief moment, hope ignited, but the aliens were not done. A massive ship, larger than anything humans had ever imagined, descended from the fleet. Its surface pulsed with energy, and beams of light tore through the vacuum of space, disintegrating drones and satellites instantly. It moved with terrifying grace, like a predator hunting prey. Focus all firepower. Lena yelled. The human fleet launched everything they had. Missiles streaked, lasers flared, and plasma bolts scorched the dark. Yet the alien ship absorbed the attacks effortlessly. On Earth, the public watched the sky transform into a battlefield. News anchors tried to maintain composure, but panic and disbelief were everywhere. Some prayed, others fled. A few brave souls filmed the spectacle, hoping to capture humanity's last stand. Amid the chaos, Lena noticed a small anomaly on the energy readings of the massive ship. A slight fluctuation, almost imperceptible. Rao! Look at the core energy patterns. There's a blind spot. Aim concentrated pulses there in rapid succession. If we can destabilize it, maybe, just maybe, we get an opening. Rao adjusted targeting. It's risky, Commander. We might not have a second chance. Do it, Lena replied. We have no choice. Missiles and energy blasts converged on the target, striking the core. The alien ship shook violently. Beams flickered, and for a split second, it seemed vulnerable. Then, with a thunderous wave of energy, it stabilized, deflecting the attack completely. Lena exhaled sharply. They're stronger than we thought, but they have limits. We just need to find the pattern. Suddenly, a new voice came to the comms, alien in tone but clear in translation. Humans, you fight with courage. Admirable but futile. Resistance will end. The message echoed in every control room, and on every communication device, still functional on Earth. Fear surged, but so did determination. Humans were small, fragile, but they refused to be broken. As night fell on Earth, the first attack subsided, leaving destruction and chaos in its wake. Cities were damaged, satellites destroyed, and human fleets battered, yet alive. The alien fleet hovered above the planet, scanning, waiting, assessing. In the calm after the storm, Lena gathered her team. We survived the first wave. Barely, but we learned something important. They are powerful, but not perfect. They adapt, yes, but every creature has patterns. Every machine has a flaw. Rao nodded. Commander, we have to exploit those flaws before the next attack. If we don't, Earth won't survive. Lena stared at the stars, the alien fleet looming like a shadow across the solar system. We will fight, we will learn, and we will survive. Humanity has never given up, and we will not give up now. Meanwhile, in the depths of space, the alien commanders observed humanity with curiosity and frustration. They had thrown their entire fleet at Earth expecting submission. Instead, they had encountered something unexpected: resilience, intelligence, and an unyielding spirit. The first attack was over. The war had begun, and both sides knew the next encounter would be even deadlier. As Earth survivors regrouped, repairing ships and rebuilding defenses, Lena prepared her final report. We have 3 things going for us: ingenuity, unity, and courage. If we hold these, we might just survive. And somewhere in the darkness of space, the aliens adjusted their plans, unaware that humanity's greatest strength was not weapons or numbers, but unpredictability and the will to fight against impossible odds. The countdown to the second wave had begun, and with it, the real test of humanity's courage and intelligence was about to start. The silence in space after the first attack was almost deafening. Human ships floated among the wreckage, battered but still alive. On Earth, cities worked tirelessly to repair damaged infrastructure. Satellite arrays were partially restored, communication channels reestablished, but the sense of dread remained. The alien fleet had withdrawn temporarily, hovering at the edge of the solar system, scanning, calculating, planning their next strike. Commander Lena Hayes stood in the control room of the Orbital Defense Station, her eyes fixed on the main display. She traced the paths of the alien ships with careful precision, noting the patterns, the energy pulses, the timing of their maneuvers. It was like reading an enemy's mind, only harder. They are fast. They are deadly. But they are predictable, she said quietly to Lieutenant Rao, who stood beside her. Every movement, every adaptation they make, it has a rhythm, and every rhythm has a flaw. Rao frowned. A flaw? Commander, their shields regenerate faster than we can fire. Their weapons destroy everything in seconds. How can there be a flaw? Lena pointed at a series of small, blinking indicators on the screen. Look here. Every time we fired rapid pulses at their left flank during the first attack, some ships vanished. Not destroyed, vanished. And it only happened at certain angles, certain speeds. That's our opening. That's what they didn't expect. Rao's eyes widened. You mean we can make them disappear? Yes, Lena said, her voice firm. We don't have to destroy them conventionally. We just have to trick them, confuse them, exploit the blind spots in their technology. They are powerful, yes, but not all-seeing. Meanwhile, across Earth, scientists were working frantically on Lena's plan. Engineers and physicists in underground labs calculated the angles, the pulse frequencies, the timing needed to replicate the disappearing effect on a larger scale. Every second counted. Commander, we can't test this fully before the fleet returns, Rao said nervously. If it fails? Lena looked out at the stars, her jaw tight. It won't fail. Humanity has survived worse odds before. We adapt, we fight, we endure. That's what they didn't account for. At the edge of the solar system, the alien fleet shifted. Their ships shimmer with energy, scanning the vast darkness. Thousands of years of conquest had never prepared them for something like this. A species so small, so fragile, yet so unpredictable. One of the alien commanders spoke in a low, rumbling tone, translated by the Universal Protocol. Humans, they are not following known survival algorithms. They adapt, they resist, continue observation, adjust attack patterns. Back in orbit, Lena coordinated the human fleet. All units, synchronize. We'll use decoy drones to lure them into the blind zones. Then, once in position, initiate pulse sequence alpha. Repeat 3 times. Stay coordinated. One mistake, and we're done. Fighter pilots grip controls tightly. Drones launch in clusters, weaving between ships. Some human warships fired false energy signatures, imitating weapon fire that didn't exist. The alien fleet, vast and powerful, slowed, confused by the sudden anomalies. Then Lena gave the signal. A series of synchronized energy pulses shot from a human fleet, perfectly timed and aligned with the alien ship's weak points. The effect was immediate. One by one, smaller alien ships flickered, then vanished completely. Some massive ships shimmered, their weapons failing as systems overloaded from unexpected interference. The alien commanders roared in frustration. Impossible. Their patterns are chaotic. Adjust shields. Focus fire. But every adjustment the aliens made only amplified the effect. Human engineers had anticipated their countermeasures. The pulses adapted dynamically, making the alien fleet unstable. Beams of light twisted in space. Ships collided, energy shields destabilized, and in mere minutes, chaos overtook the invaders. On Earth, civilians watched the sky as the alien ships began disappearing before their eyes. Some thought it was a trick of light. Others assumed miracles. Military broadcasts warned, "Stay inside. Observe, but do not interfere." Humanity is fighting back. In the command center, Lena and Rao couldn't hide their awe. "Look at that," Rao whispered. "They're falling apart not because we destroyed them, but because we outsmarted them." "Yes," Lena said. "Brains over brawn. Intelligence over raw power. Humanity's greatest weapon is never the largest gun or fastest ship. It's our mind, our courage, and our will to survive." The alien fleet regrouped at the edge of the solar system, panic spreading among their commanders. Ships collided in attempts to maneuver. Energy feedback caused some smaller vessels to implode. For the first time in recorded history, a species that had dominated countless worlds felt fear. Lena seized the moment. All units move forward cautiously. Maintain formation, but push them back. Let them see they are not invincible. Every move counts. Every pulse counts. As humans advanced, their confidence grew. The alien fleet tried new strategies, but Lena anticipated them all. Every attempt to overwhelm human defenses failed. The more the aliens fought, the more their systems destabilized. In a rare broadcast, the alien voice came through again, now filled with tension. "Humans who are unpredictable. Resistance not expected. Analysis required." Lena looked at Rao. "They don't understand us. They can't. And that's why we win. Not by fighting harder, but by thinking smarter." On Earth, millions celebrated cautiously as reports of alien ships disappearing reached them. People cheered, prayed, and hugged. Humanity's spirit soared. They were small, fragile, but clever. And cleverness had turned the tide. Yet, Lena knew the war was not over. The alien fleet, though confused and weakened, still existed. They had seen humanity's ingenuity and would adapt further. Every second of this turning point was precious, a fragile advantage that could vanish if humans hesitated. As night fell again, Lena gazed at the stars. "Today we survived. Tomorrow we strike back smarter. We don't just defend. We dominate through intellect, strategy, and unity. They will not forget this day." The alien commanders, humiliated but not defeated, withdrew slightly, analyzing, calculating, and realizing that brute force alone would not win this war. For the first time, they feared not for conquest, but for survival. And in that moment, somewhere between Earth and the alien armada, the balance of power shifted. Humans, small and underestimated, had turned the first battle not by might, but by mind. The turning point had arrived. Humanity had proven that the greatest weapon was not in the stars, nor in the ships, but in the indomitable will of people who refused to bow to impossible odds. The countdown to the final confrontation had begun, and both humans and aliens knew that the next battle would decide not just the fate of Earth, but the future of intelligence itself. The alien fleet hovered at the edge of the solar system, battered, confused, and angry. Their massive ships, once symbols of invincibility, floated like broken giants. Systems overloaded, energy shields unstable, and morale shattered. For the first time in millennia, these conquerors felt fear, not of weapons, but of something they could not comprehend. Commander Lena Hayes watched from Earth's orbital command center as the fleet hesitated. Human ships, though smaller and fewer, moved with precision and confidence. Every maneuver, every pulse, every decoy had been perfectly timed. The alien fleet did not understand the force they faced. Humans' minds. "Rao," Lena said, pointing at the display. "They don't know what we're about to do next. They think they can adapt. They think they can recover. But they cannot predict the unpredictability of humanity." Rao nodded. It's incredible. They're trying to analyze us like a puzzle, but the puzzle keeps changing. Lena smiled grimly. Good. That's exactly how it should be. On Earth, scientists had completed the final phase of their plan, a technology never tested in battle, a device designed to manipulate the alien fleet's perception of reality. It wasn't a weapon of destruction. It was a weapon of understanding or confusion. The humans called it the dimensional phase array. When activated, it would create illusions, displacements, and false readings so precise that alien sensors would become useless. Ships would vanish from detection, project fake movements, and even make the aliens perceive themselves as trapped in an impossible space. Lena activated the array. Energy beams shot into space, subtle yet powerful, interacting with the alien fleet's own systems. The effect was immediate. Alien ships blinked, shimmered, and began disappearing. Not from destruction, but from perception. Some ships seemed to collide with each other, only to vanish before impact. Others appeared to retreat, only to reappear miles away. The alien commanders roared in confusion. Impossible. Our sensors, our logic, failing. They are manipulating reality itself. For the humans watching, the effect was mesmerizing. Ships disappeared and reappeared like magic. The once terrifying fleet was now chaotic, disoriented, and vulnerable. Human pilots and commanders navigated the battlefield with a calm precision born from preparation and understanding. Lena directed the fleet with careful skill. Keep them distracted. Do not destroy them. Make them see what they cannot understand. Every second they waste analyzing false signals is a second they cannot attack Earth. And the aliens fell into the trap completely. Their immense pride, their centuries of conquest, and their reliance on pure power had made them predictable in their own arrogance. Humans, small and underestimated, were now rewriting the rules of battle. On Earth, civilians witnessed an astonishing sight. Satellites and ground observatories captured images of the alien fleet, seemingly disappearing into thin air, twisting and vanishing, leaving the planet safe once again. Cheers erupted across cities, but Lena warned, not yet. Stay alert. This fight is not over until they leave completely. The alien commanders, desperate, attempted one final strategy. A massive flagship descended, pulsing with energy capable of destroying entire continents. Its weapons fired in a barrage of light and fire, aiming to wipe out the human orbital fleet in a single strike. But Lena anticipated this. Human ships had positioned themselves cleverly, using the dimensional phase array to distort their locations. The flagship's energy beams passed harmlessly through illusions, missing their true targets entirely. The alien commanders screamed in frustration. Their ultimate weapon, designed to obliterate worlds, was now ineffective. Then Lena issued the final command. Focus the phase array on the central fleet. Collapse their perception. Let them see nothing, feel nothing, control nothing. Humanity will survive this. The effect was breathtaking. The flagship flickered violently, then vanished. Other ships, unable to comprehend what was happening, faltered. One by one, entire squadrons blinked out of existence. The alien fleet, the pride of 1,000 worlds, was reduced to fragments, lost in a dimension they could not control. Some alien commanders attempted communication. Humans, you survive, impossible submit, but there was no submission. Humanity had won not by firepower, not by brute strength, but by ingenuity, strategy, and the courage to fight beyond expected limits. Lena looked at the stars, her eyes reflecting the vanishing alien fleet. This is what we are, she said softly. Not the biggest, not the strongest, but clever, united, and fearless. On Earth, celebrations erupted. People cheered, hugged, and wept. For the first time in history, humanity had faced an incomprehensible threat and survived. The message was clear. Humans, small and fragile, could defy even the greatest power in the universe. Yet Lena did not allow herself complete relief. She knew the universe was vast, full of unknown threats, and that today's victory was the beginning of a new era. We have shown that we can survive, that we can think, adapt, and triumph. But we must never stop learning. The cosmos is vast, and there are more challenges ahead. In the aftermath, scientists and engineers examined the abandoned alien ships, discovering technology far beyond human comprehension. Materials that could bend light, energy systems that defied physics, and data that promised to revolutionize space travel and defense. Humanity would rise, not only victorious, but stronger than ever before. For the alien commanders, retreat was inevitable. They had underestimated a species they thought weak and insignificant. They had thrown their entire fleet at Earth, only to discover that humans were not just survivors. They were masters of adaptation, strategy, and willpower. As Earth looked up at the stars, the alien fleet vanished beyond detection, and humanity began the slow, careful process of recovery. Cities rebuilt, ships repaired, and knowledge harvested. The planet had survived annihilation, and humanity had proven its strength to the universe. Lena Hayes stood once more on the observation deck, watching the calm night sky. "We have learned," she said quietly, "that no matter how powerful the enemy, the mind, courage, and unity of humans can overcome the impossible. Today we were tested and we triumphed. The stars seemed brighter than ever. Earth was safe. Humanity had survived the unthinkable. And for the first time, they understood something profound. Survival was not just about strength. It was about spirit. The war was over, but the legend of humanity had begun. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to subscribe to the channel and support us. It really helps us grow and bring more videos like this. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.